In this video, I want to talk about one of the most important things that you will ever need to be mindful of on your journey in this world. And that practical thing is healthcare. I am specifically talking about the United States of America. And I'm specifically talking about if you're going to live out of your car or if you're going to have your own business, and almost in any aspect of life. Now, you're going to fall under a couple categories. If you have a job with benefits, if your job provides healthcare benefits, then you're going to be okay for now, but you need to make a mental note of this video. That's what I have. I have a corporate job. I have health benefits through my employer, but I once had my own businesses. I know what it is to shop for my own, paying for my own healthcare. I know people with their own businesses. And what I can tell you is if you save and sacrifice and live in your car or downsize your life, and here you're on the road to saving and you think that you're improving your life, but you neglect to budget and you are unwilling to pay a certain amount per month for health care, so you neglect it, and then God forbid you break your leg, God forbid you have a heart attack, and you're in the hospital with thousands and thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical bills. And then you sit on that hospital bed after all the sacrificing, after living in a smaller house, after living in a car, even if it's something you want to do and you're excited about, or having your own business, you finally turned profitable, you finally made it to a point where you're making and saving money, but then all of a sudden life hits. And you break a leg, you have a heart attack, something unforeseen happens, not even your fault, an accident, and you have a major healthcare medical expense, you will be bankrupt. The number one cause of bankruptcy in America today is medical bills. Here you are. You severed relationship with your family members. You bucked society trend. You started a business when most businesses failed. You did something that took a lot of courage, but by neglecting to get medical insurance, you foolishly jeopardized your entire financial future. Now, certainly you can get into the bankruptcy game and play that, but your life's going to basically be on hold for 10 years. Be careful. That's why sometimes I respect Bob Wells, I respect Hobo Alley, I respect all these people on YouTube that are nomads that have really made it acceptable somewhat and possible to live out of your car. But that's why I also say shame on Bob Wells, who makes thousands of dollars a month on YouTube but doesn't buy his own healthcare. He made a video saying that he doesn't buy his own healthcare. He takes a risk. And he's also getting ready. He pays for a personal assistant. He's willing to pay for a personal assistant, but he's not willing to pay for healthcare. He's starting a charity to help other people, but if he has a heart attack, he's going to need charity. If a man cannot manage his own house, he cannot be a leader. Hobo Alley even said, look, I probably should have healthcare, but I'm young and I'm deciding not to. How much is healthcare going to cost if you got it on the open market without an employer? Somewhere between $500 to $600, maybe a little bit less than $500, but let's just say $500 to $600 without any subsidies. Subsidies means you make basically poverty level $25,000 or below per year, and the government at this point, that may change based on the Affordable Care Act, would give you some subsidy to help pay for your health care, but you'd basically have to live in poverty. So if you basically didn't live in poverty and you made above $25,000 per year, do your own research. This is just in general speaking terms. Do your own research. Is that, you basically have to budget $500 to $600 per month to pay for your own health care. And that's why many nomads don't do it. They figure, well, I'm making $2,000, $3,000 a month with my own job or with YouTube or whatever, and I don't want to pay, a quarter of my salary to health care. They'll take the risk. Should you do that? You're taking the biggest financial risk of your life. I mean, here you are. Look, you're finally saving. Or if you're not a nomad, if you're not living out of your car and you're starting your own business, you could lose everything. Or you have to play the bankruptcy game. You could play that game. I mean, sometimes it is what it is, but I want you to be mindful. If you ever think of hitting the eject button, quitting your job, living off your investments, or starting your own company, or doing anything in life where your employer is not going to provide your health care. In the United States of America currently, the government doesn't give you health care. You have to buy your own. And you're going to need to budget for the average person, on average, $500 to $600 per month to cover everything as far as a deductible plan and anything that's just a basic, decent coverage plan. You'll maybe get it for a little bit less, but I want you to be mindful of that number. I'm giving you a specific number with the understanding you have to do your own research. It's all based on your area, your health, etc. But that's on average what the research I've done. Because I looked into it. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of all the things that maybe you're willingly sacrificing or you're willingly taking a risk to do. All the money you save in living simple, or all the money you may start to make by having your own company, it can all be lost in an instant if you don't have basic coverage. Just like if you had a car, it's the same thing. Just as if you had a car and you decide not to carry car insurance, that's illegal. If you had a car and decided not to carry car insurance and you finally started saving money and you got in a car accident, you got sued for everything, guess what? There goes everything you sacrificed and saved for. If you just walk down the street, you have a heart attack, God forbid you have a stroke, God forbid you break your leg, you twist your ankle, you do whatever, that you have to go to the hospital and you have to get medical services. It can happen. I got very sick this past winter. Now, thank God I was able to recover without any type of major medical expense. But I'm just trying to share with you, enlighten you. Healthcare is a major issue that you need to be mindful of if you're going to live out of your car, quit your job, have your own company. Major issue. And it's not something that should be neglected and you spend that money on getting a personal assistant or, going shopping or something like that, because you're jeopardizing your entire future. And I respect everyone, but I'm just going to make the statement. It's somewhat shameful to do that because you're not managing your own household. Even if your household is a car, even if your household has its own business, whatever avenue of life you pursue in the current state of the world, and specifically I'm just speaking about the United States of America, that's what you have to be mindful of. I'm not getting into the politics of whether government should get involved or not. Look, that's for another video. That's not even really too much what I do. What I do is I teach, look, you're going to have to take care of yourself well. And part of that is budgeting $500 to $600 per month, and hopefully you can get it for a little bit less, but I'd rather high-end it. If you're going to either, 1, quit your job, 2 is you lose your job. Okay, that's why you got to have a certain amount of money in savings. 3 is if you're starting your own business or anything like that, you're going to live off investments, got to have your health care. Number 1 cause of bankruptcy is medical bills, currently in the United States of America. Be mindful.